information. Okay, and then next is change price. So when it comes to change price, usually you need a supervisor to access this, but what ends up happening is, if I click change price, right, just like you do now, you can either go through what we call override functionality, which they see at a restaurant or a bank, you use your card, or use a fingerprint, or just a username and password. In this particular case, I'm going to username and password. I put my username as A, my password is A, I hit enter. It opens up the screen for change price, so I can now authorize that to happen. Now, let's say for example, as you can see here, I have 4, price is $32.95 each, and then the selling price is here. It's multiplying, obviously. If I put 4 and change the price to, let's say, 4,000 each, for example, I hit enter. As you can see, it went to 4,000. It's now a total of 16,000. Pretty straightforward, right? So on top of that, we have what we call a discount. If you want to give a discount, you click the discount button on right here, and you have 3 different choices: percentage, amount, or apply 0 rated. Okay, I'll explain all of them. When it comes to percentage, if I click the letter P, these are shortcut buttons, or I can click the button itself, say P. Again, it needs a password or the override from a supervisor. I click enter, and this is what it gives me right now. So basically, I have 3 items. I have different choices. I can either go to what we call total order or per item. What does that mean? If I click per item, let's say I check box is Dalmatian T-strap, I give it, let's say, a 10% discount. This 10% discount will only be applied if I click the letter A, will only be applied for that item. As you can see here on the very top, 10%, but nothing else is a discount. Very straightforward, right? As you can see that there. If it's for whole orders, then with every discount, all 3 will be checkmarked. I put 10%, all 3 will get to 10%. So you have a lot of flexibility depending on what kind of situation that you're in. You can also set up what we call preset discounts. What does that mean? Sometimes, it depends on the country, but generally, wherever I've been, all countries always have a senior citizen discount, meaning 65 years or older. If you're a senior citizen discount, you click that, for example. And then, of course, it depends on the country of origin that you're from. You also have to put in the ID number of the senior citizen, the name, and the address. In countries of the West, I don't think you have that functionality. You don't need that, I think. But in the Philippines, you certainly need that. Okay? If I put that in, for example, I try the ID number. I put in the customer name. Let's say that's me. I put the address. I click OK, and of course a 20% discount will be applied. I just got to click enter, apply, and then that's what will happen now. So if you see now, when I click apply, the 20% discount is there all the way through. In your Z reading report or the end of day report, the 20% discount will be segmented by different descriptions, like senior citizen or others. Okay. You also have what's called PWD, that means persons with disability, employee discounts, VIP, and you can even add more. You might even have arrangements with certain businesses that give you certain discounts as well. So that's one way to do it. So that's pretty straightforward there. Next you have cancel item. Let's say, for example, a client or your customer is canceling an item. They change their mind. Maybe they don't have enough money with them, or they change their mind just because it's not their size. Okay? So what you do is you click this one up here, and I'll say change cancel item. I click it, and then it's gone. There you go. We even have a feature, I turned it off already, but we have a feature that if you cancel item, it'll even ask for the supervisor, because there could be some hocus pocus going on there sometimes, right? We know that, right? So the cancel item is per item. The cancel sale is, if I cancel the sale, I need a password again to do that, or a supervisor access. If I click if I type in the user access I have now, hit enter, the whole thing will be deleted for that particular sale. So cancel item is one item by item. Cancel sale is the whole sale. Now to continue on, I need to get some items back in again. I'll just type in some items, hit enter. I need 3, just for example, so ignore me for a little bit. I'm just going to type in a few items. Okay, so great, it's in there. I'm going to continue on. I can also do suspend. What is suspend? Suspend is, for example, I'm the cashier, and there's a long lineup of people here, right? So what ends up happening is this person, I'm typing all their items in or I'm barcoding them in, and then they say, oh no, can I just take a few books and check some more items? Instead of me canceling the item and then waiting and continue the next person in line, I suspend it. Okay, so if I suspend the item now, I click yes. I can put the name of the person. This is optional. Okay, so I'll just put your test, enter, and they also have the option to print order slip, meaning maybe it's a long list that you can print the items that they're buying on a slip, so for record purposes. But in this case, he'll say no. Okay, so it's gone. It's saved, but it's in a holding file. I can continue on, and I can take someone else's order, the next person in line. Great idea. Makes it a lot easier for your operations. Okay, so when the other customer comes back in place, they don't have to retype all that in again. All you gotta do is click the F9. Sorry, not the F9, but the F1. You click F1, it brings up the list of items. All you gotta do is just type in which one it is. Okay, so I just type in here. And the items that we chose earlier are back again. That's it. And they continue the sale. Okay? So we also have here, I'm not going to touch base on all the little details. That'll be covered in another video. Okay? But I'm just generalizing. Okay? We'd be here all day because there's a lot of functions in our POS right now. Okay? We didn't see that. Gotta keep going. I'll just get it back on again. I'll go back to where I left off.
Okay.
Okay. I won't talk all the other features because there's a lot of them here. There's loyalty award, there's loyalty card, there's return replace, e-card. We'll talk about it in other videos. As I'm doing right now, just to give you a general overview. Now I'm just going to continue my transaction. I have my sample transaction here. Now they'll pay cash. We have cash, check, credit card, charge, multiple pay, and gift check. Different kinds. Okay. If you do by ATM, that's under the credit card functionality. Excuse me. So if I go cash, in the Philippines, there's a ruling that you have to put in the customer ID, the customer name, the address, their TIN, the tax identification number, if they want to have an official receipt called what we call OR. So I'm just, for the sample sake here, okay, I click proceed. Okay, so once I've done that, this function will come out. So the total bill is $23,965. If the customer gives me, let's say, $30,000, automatically it'll compute the change. I click done. The change jar will open. Ka-ching-ching. The receipt will go all the way up, and then we're done the transaction. Right now, as you can see on screen, it's looking for a receipt printer, which we do not have connected to it. I'll just turn it off. And then, of course, the total will appear, the change will appear, the customer display will show that, reflect that, and then we're done the transaction. That's pretty much it. So the other types of payment are check, credit card. Let me do one more, so I can show you the multiple pay. It's kind of a unique feature. I'll just do one really quickly here. I'll just take a few items. I'll take one item. Now, as I said, the check, which is pretty straightforward. You put the check number, the bank it comes from, the credit card, easy. Card swipe, a Visa, credit card, or a MasterCard, American Express. Charge, what that means is you will charge it to the account of the client if you have terms, like 30-day terms. But one thing that's unique is called the multiple pay. This is not appearing in a lot of point of sale, but we have it in ours because there are cases where, let me just kind of go through the conditions here. Okay. There are cases where the customer doesn't have enough cash, but they have enough on the credit card, they might have a little bit of a check. So this multiple pay gives you the feature where you can pay partly a check, partly a credit card, and partly in cash. one transaction instead of having to do, you break up into 3 different sections. It's messy for the cashier, messy for the customer, because there's 3 receipts that'll come out. And on top of that, your line is waiting. It's a long lineup. You don't want to inconvenience your clients. So you can do it that way. So it's really kind of great. You just put how much will be credit card, how much would be cash. Let's say the cash will be, let's say, $300. I click done. So you can see 300 is cash. The credit card or the check will be, for example, so much. You have to put the details, and the transaction is completed. I won't finish it because it's a little bit longer of a process, but the bottom line is you could do multiple pay, meaning different currencies or different types of payment on one transaction. It makes it quite unique. That is our POS for the time being. Of course, you have receipts that you can come up with tons of reports, like the top selling items, the worst selling items, senior citizen discount reports, total transactions for the day, sales per month, per week. We have a lot, including graphs, reports, and our POS even sends it to your phone. So if you're traveling around, you have a lot of businesses, you have to use a business owner, you don't have time to come back to the store, the system will send emails or send you live graphs and sales to your phone. That's fantastic. That'll be covered in another video, but I want to touch base a little bit on the point of sale on the retail sector. Thank you very much. This is George Torrenti signing off from Kimaske EA1.